live at 5.
Good evening to you. I'm Teresa Snow.
And I'm Kate Lauman. Thanks for joining us. Weather in a variety of forms is dominating local and national news today.
Within the next 5 minutes on KRCG 13 live at 5, we'll have the latest on the Colorado wildfire, which is encroaching on a major city, forcing thousands to evacuate. Plus, while tropical depression Debbie is gone, her fury is still being felt in Florida.
And right here in mid-Missouri, triple-digit heat has everyone on high alert. We'll talk with an EMT about staying safe in the sun.
Right now, for the latest on the heat warnings and advisories here in mid-Missouri, we throw it over to KRCG 13's Zach Paul.
And it's another very hot day, record-breaking heat across the area today. I think we're going to see more of that tomorrow. You can see a big bubble of triple-digit heat over central Missouri right now. 102 for Columbia is a new record, 101 for the capital, 102 at the lake as well. You factor in the little bit of humidity, and it feels like it's even warmer. Notice that triple-digit heat spreads a little bit farther to the east with the way it feels, with some very easy 110 to 112 degree heat indices off to the west. That triple digit heat is going to continue to spread to the east. In fact, all of central Missouri now under some sort of a heat advisory or an excessive heat warning from around Moberly over towards Sedalia. This includes Boonville. It's also going to include Sedalia, Warsaw, areas around the lake. You are under an excessive heat warning, as you can see here, until Saturday night, 7 o'clock. For Columbia, Fulton, Montgomery City, Jefferson City, areas around Fulton, down towards Rolla and Fort Leonard Wood, this is an excessive heat advisory until 7 o'clock Saturday evening. We're going to talk more detail on what to expect and how long this heat will last. That's all coming up here in my first full forecast.
Thank you, Zach. Even though soon the sun will start setting, it is still dangerously hot outside.
KRCG 13's Daniel Wynn is live at Memorial Pool in Jefferson City with some advice to beat the heat. Daniel, what are area health officials saying?
Well, Kate, if you can't be here at the pool, looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it? They say the best place to be is in the air conditioning. Now, even at the pool, though, heat can be dangerous. These kids walking around here, they need to stay hydrated, watch out for heat stroke, exhaustion, other things like that. We were talking to some EMS officials at Cole County earlier today, and they say the best thing to do is stay in the cool.
People have been doing pretty good, taking the breaks and drinking a lot of fluids, but the heat exhaustion, that's going to get you. When you're outside working, you start feeling woozy, you know, take a break. Don't try to tough it out because the heat will get you.
Now, they say take small breaks, avoid alcohol, avoid caffeine, eat smaller meals, candy bars, anything like that, of course, for the kids. Also, take advantage of your local pool. It's the coolest place in town. If you can't be in the air conditioning, it looks like a lot of fun. I'll tell you, it has been a lot of fun today, even though we haven't been in all day. Coming up at 6, we're talking about foods. If you're a mom sitting at home thinking about foods to keep your kids hydrated, we'll tell you a few food tips coming up at 6. I'm Daniel Wynn, reporting live in Jefferson City. Back to you guys.
Daniel, thank you. Well, nearly every crew available was called out for a fire this afternoon on Industrial Drive in Jefferson City.
Firefighters say a small outbuilding used by Mel's Country Cafe for storage caught fire about 3. That fire spread to the attached building, Probst Auto Service. There is significant damage to both. The main part of Mel's Cafe, though, is fine. Fire crews say the heat played a big part in fighting the blaze.
Well, you know, that's why we called in the additional companies with 94, 96 degrees. The heat's just terrible on our firefighters, trying to rehab them, trying to keep them energized to go back in. So we called in off-duty personnel to help backfill the rest of the city. You know, these temperatures are just very hard on the firefighting efforts and trying to extinguish a fire.
The cause is still under investigation. A passerby alerted 911 to the fire.
2 fires at one Columbia home kept firefighters busy this morning. First, in the 404,000 block of Vermont Court just before 6:30 this morning. In that fire, the garage had significant damage. The owner told us heat from tools using to work on a personal airplane may have sparked the first fire. Then about 3 hours later, crews went back when the homeowner saw smoke coming from the roof. No one was hurt in either fire. Crews are investigating the cause. Well, out-of-control wildfires are charring parts of Colorado, forcing thousands to evacuate.
The heat and the flames near Colorado Springs are so intense, authorities cannot fully assess the damage. Take a look at this giant cloud of smoke hanging over the city. 32,000 people have already fled their homes. Even the U.S. Air Force Academy had to evacuate. The blaze tripled in size overnight to more than 15,000 acres.
It's really frightening that we can lose everything.
This is a very difficult time in our city, but we will get through this together and we will be stronger because of this experience.
Thunderstorms are expected in the Colorado Springs area tonight. While water may help, crews are more worried about the unpredictable winds. President Barack Obama is set to tour the area on Friday. KRCG has a sister station in Colorado Springs. You can follow their continuing coverage on Twitter at Fox 21 News. Well, with the size and devastation in Colorado quickly growing, we wondered if something similar could happen here.
Luckily, Boone County fire officials told us conditions in Colorado are very different than those here in Missouri. Colorado's vegetation is much drier than the growth found in mid-Missouri. The state's pine trees burn quicker than Missouri's, and we have more natural barriers to stop the spread of wildfires.
Eventually they'll be contained by either roads and we do have a lot of water here too, so they'll be contained by some creeks and things like that, which in Colorado they don't really have that type of geographic barriers that we do.
Even so, the Missouri Conservation Department wildlands firefighters are not being dispatched to Colorado to help. That's because officials say with our dry, fire-prone conditions, they could be needed here at home.
It is totally miserable. You can't do anything. Water's up to the doorstep. No air conditioning, no electricity. You can't flush the toilets. That's a trip, believe me.
Tropical depression Debbie is gone, but her presence is still felt in Florida. The storm left behind floodwaters that have forced thousands out of their homes. The remnants of the storm should slowly march out to sea by tonight, but there's still a threat of up to 8 more inches of rain in some areas that have already received about 2 feet.
Switching gears to health news, the Food and Drug Administration has approved the first new prescription diet drug in a decade. CBS's Susan McGinnis reports Belviq got the green light, even though patients only lost a moderate amount of weight in the studies. That's our Health Watch report. Belviq was only approved for obese adults or those who are overweight and have at least one medical issue, such as diabetes or high cholesterol.
Well, we set a record in Columbia today. We officially hit 102 degrees. The old record, 101, set back 1980. Another potential record high for Thursday. The old record, 103. I'm thinking around 105 degrees as we look forward over the next really 24 and 48 hours. Upper 80s to lower 90s. Now, as far as 4th of July, I want to let you know that these are still going on, but there are a lot of burn bans. And I've been reading a little bit on the web that a lot of municipalities are starting to question whether these events are going to happen now because it is so dry and with the potential and the easy trigger or catalyst of any fire that starts, how quickly it'll take off.
Well, and the fireworks being in downtown Columbia also, you don't want to risk it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We will stay on top of that. Thank you, Zach.
You bet.
Well, Boone County voters will have to say yes or no to a 911 tax on the November ballot.
Hear why supporters say it will be a more fair tax for all of the county's residents. A 911 sales tax will be on the November ballot for Boone County voters.
Members of the county's Joint Communications Task Force made the announcement late this afternoon. The tax would pay for a larger center that could house more staff and improve 911 services. County officials say a sales tax increase would allow everyone in Boone County to pay for the upgrades.
Everybody that comes into our community is helping pay for the service versus, the elderly folks that never call 911, but they have a landline. They're paying a tax for the service because 75% of the calls right now come in on cell phone.
The exact amount of the sales tax isn't ready, but it could be a quarter cent.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, here's a look at what you'll see new tonight at 6. It is KRCG 13's Most Asked Question online and in phone calls to our newsroom. Why is gas cheaper in Columbia than in Jefferson City? Hear from AAA on the matter tonight on KRCG 13 live at 6.
And in your Ion Interactive report, Google is entering the tablet market, but their main competition may not be the iPad. We'll explain next on KRCG 13 live at 5. She's the woman who was harassed by a bus full of kids. He's the man who set up a website to raise money to send her on a vacation. And they finally got to meet. Karen Klein got the chance to thank Max Citero last night. He started the Let's Give Karen a Vacation campaign that generated more than $500,000. According to the family, the plan is for the two to get to know one another a little better and give the family the opportunity to extend their gratitude to Max for the vacation Klein has yet to take. Well, how hot is it in your area? Send us your pictures on Twitter and Facebook of your thermometers, whether it's in your car or in your house or at your bank. We'll show some of those pictures coming up at 6. Google is showing off its entry into the tablet market. Called the Nexus 7, the 7-inch tablet is more likely to be a challenger to the Kindle Fire than it is the Apple iPad. It'll run the next version of Google's Android operating system, which is called Jelly Bean. The company credited with launching the home video game console is celebrating a milestone. Atari has been in business for 40 years. Pong became one of its most popular games. It's considered the first commercially successful video game. Atari was renamed SA in 2010 and recently released Atari games for the iPhone and iPad. And that's a look at your Ion Interactive report.
I remember Pong, a classic. Will we see some relief from the heat tonight? Zach shares our evening planner next on KRCG 13 live at 5. We get any relief tonight?
Nope.
I think Teresa knew that was going to be the answer.
Well, I've been ready.
Not on Thursday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday or Tuesday
I
either.
want to run my washer and my dryer, and I keep thinking late at night. I'll run it late at night.
Yeah,
which will help, but it's
or
still going to
early
be
in the
hot.
morning.
a little.
Or early in the morning. That's the
I
best
don't get
time
up early in the morning.
Well, I'm with you. Working that late night makes it difficult to get up early in the morning sometimes. But yeah, that's typically if you have strenuous things that you want to do, get up early in the morning or do them late at night once the heat sort of subsides. We'll see some of that tonight. The good news is the air is still really dry. So when the sun starts to go down, temperatures are quickly going to drop.
Yeah.
That's the good news, because the more moisture that's in the air, the easier it is for it to warm up. So it's going to hold more heat. Not going to be the case. So here's what you can look at for tonight. How's that? It's 102 degrees right now in Columbia, believe it or not.
That broke a record, right?
It did. That was a new record. It's going to fall down to around 83 degrees by 10 o'clock tonight. Again, 103, but by 10 o'clock, a 20-degree drop in temperature. 102 and down to 88. Not quite as much for the lake, and there's a lake, big body of water, makes a little bit more of an impact.
Okay.
Thanks, Zach. Thanks for joining us for KRCG News Live at 5.
We'll see you at 6.